goes, Nim. So, are you ready? Four viewers. Alright, we still got people. Cool. How much money do you actually owe? I need to put the sound back, yes. Business. It was rare she didn't reply in mean words, just coldly. Is there no other option? Option? You had $1 million debt shouldn't lead to kidnapping. You can save that much if you work hard for a few years. Work hard? She burst into laughter and looked at me casually, while supporting her head. My dad doesn't have a company for me to work for. What kind of job do you think I could find? Dishwasher? Bar girl? Prostitute? What if I cleared the debt? Then what? Finally starting my life at age 30 or 40? Changing the subject, she asked me coldly in return. Why do I need to spend that much time while others can just coast by? If the world is never fair, then I'd rather gamble at all. Worst case scenario is just the death penalty. Not that different from now. How much does she know about the kidnapping? I asked her about a little girl. Admittedly. But then after a while I followed up with, she has nothing to do with this. I forced her to help. Oh. I'm surprised by that answer. Thought she would push the responsibility on her, yet now it sounded like she was protecting her. What an interesting relationship. She seems to really trust you. She stared at me, biting her lips. But her inner turmoil was clear. She knows nothing. The girl curled up in the bed, holding the bedsheet tightly. She didn't seem to be at peace even at night. The girl sighed lightly and then turned to me to emphasize her point again. I forced you here and it was all my idea. My decision. She repeated herself as though scared of involving the little girl. I got it, I got it. I replied perfunctorily, knowing that wasn't the truth. There's no way for her to be disobedient if she was forced, let alone defending a big sis. So, what now? What's your name? What's your name? The girl staring at her phone didn't hear my question, so I repeated it. Hong Yi, she said. She was suddenly shutting up and raising her head and looked at me cautiously. Say again? I secretly remembered the partial answer, but acted as though I heard nothing. You think I'll tell you just so you can call the cops later? How should I address you then? Person left her. How to address me? Are you out of your mind? Address me any way you want. I'm not here to make friends. She walked towards me with the rope. Your hands. Do you really need to, this or this? Take your pick. She motioned to the rope in her left hand and then the knife on her right. Knife! I picked knife. Wait, what does that even mean? Let me stab both your legs, then I won't tie you up. Your choice, not mine. Bread she brought back for lunch was classic scallion bread with pork floss. Long after flavor spread in my mouth. And this meal a feast after days of like nutritious biscuits. In contrast to me wolfing down the bread, she showed no appetite next to the window. What was she thinking about? We're gonna finish it, Nim. Had to focus on the bread before me since she's recovered from illness. But so many flavors this time. How come? Seeing all the flavors in the bag, I was confused by her generosity. The leftovers. They were going to throw them out anyway. She coldly turned her head and grunted with distaste. I hate those fancy shops that take pride in their quality. They'd rather throw out bread than give it to those in need. Do you know what they say? If we gave the leftovers to others, the original customers would never buy them. All for such a petty reason. Ha! She mockingly laughed, despising the self-proclaimed fancy shops. Their point of view, they do have a point. I replenished some strength after filling my stomach and started to chat with her. Might be hard to understand, just like people not getting why others pay thousands of Taiwan dollars for a steak. Or more for a pair of headphones. For most people, food was just to relieve hunger. For some people, however, it was pursuit of ultimate satisfaction or sensation of taste. Time does affect the bread texture. The store needs to maintain quality for their reputation. The shop cut the price when there was some left over. Then people would only come by right before closing. This would affect the profitability negatively. I know she wanted to explain the impact of an expectation mindset, but decided to go with a simpler way to explain it. The shop needs to make a profit, so it's only natural for them to... Only natural. She's unhappy. Didn't I just say? It's not a matter of throwing it away or not, but the mentality of the customers would impact profit. That's what pissed me off. What quality? What reputation? Some bread reputation more important than starving people. Just nothing mattered besides the money. That's natural to you. Her staring eyes were burning with fire, like those who had seen the worst of humanity and were overflowing with rage. Why don't you try and change that instead of complaining about it to me? Still had issues with her whining attitude. Even if one couldn't choose one's upbringing, complaining wouldn't make it better. If the game's rules couldn't be changed, then why not try to play by the rules first, then change them when you could do so? There was always the option to just slit your throat, hang yourself, or jump off a building, hoping it'll be better next time. Still a better alternative than whining all day. Jesus fuck. Yes, I can only change it with my own hands. Frightened with no rebuttal, just a mysterious smile on her darkened face. I got the beatings and threats, but a smile right there scared me more than ever. She was extra quiet when smoking. Some serious ritual. In a room only a few square feet in size, two people with opposite backgrounds quietly sat preoccupied with their own thoughts. How old was she? What happened? Why was she doing this? I thought I didn't care, but the more time we spent together, the more I realized how different she was from my imagination. Criminals in the news all looked evil and inhumane. It's hard to imagine they might have their stories too. Things they like, things they hate, the people they cherish, their worries, their thoughts. There was a sentence from a book. Everyone tried to live better. No one would think of him or herself as being irrational or crazy. If you felt that way, that meant you didn't know that person well enough. I didn't try to understand though. The fast-paced modern society made it exhausting to take care of oneself, let alone others. You didn't care what others were like. Labeling was good guy or bad guy was just much easier. So, what now? Which no way. Our lives have nothing to do with yours. Hearing my question, she snorted mockingly. Really? Somehow I think I've seen you before. You know how insistent I was. She tilted her head and started thinking. Maybe in the shop? No, that's impossible. Maybe you see me on the news or in the police station, huh? Her smile turned sharply cut me. Her pointed words made it hard to get too close. Then why me? Still thinking about that. She sighed impatiently. She waved her hands to indicate she'd lost interest in this exchange. Your dad is filthy rich, and you live by yourself. Can you think of a better target? I think there's some backstory. Just blame yourself for being too careless and your dad for being too rich. Still uncertain if the culprit was someone I knew. The fact she knew this much about my household was just bizarre. The question aside, didn't she mention... She just mentioned a shop. She worked in a shop. What kind of shop? Think about it, the fact it brought up his mother and the affair she had earlier. Make you think that's part of why he's here. There is no happy ending. Oh, oh, yeah, that's possible then. Oh shit, this could be like the daughter. Oh, this could be a bastard. Oh, oh, please let her be a bastard and be like a half sibling. Hey, so what's your plan after getting the money? Why do you ask? She suspiciously turned her head to me, waiting for my answer. She's curious. How boring. During a long wait, I had nothing to kill time with but chatting. She stayed silent for a bit, tapping the cigarette ash on the desk, then quietly opened her mouth. I want to start over, somewhere where no one knows about me. So determined, like some pious nun praying. There was neither passion nor desire, just serenity. I don't care what kind of job I get. I just want to save some money and live a normal life where I can sleep under a roof and eat properly. You can't do that now? Didn't sound that impossible. She had just grabbed a knapsack and gone off to the countryside like those work exchange folks. Now? She laughed and waved her hand as though I had just asked something really stupid. No fucking way. Even if you change your face or name, they'll still hunt you down as long as you owe them money. Maybe if you got the money and paid off the debt, could you really get out of this that easy? Whether through surveillance camera footage or call records, it was impossible to escape from pursuit of the police thanks to modern technology. Escaping abroad might be an option, but the language barrier and lack of cash would be problematic. I didn't know she had thought about this, but it was weird for me to ask her anyways. That's strange to you? Nope. I've thought of similar things. I think everyone has. Going someplace where no one knows who you are. Witness. Why don't you say this shit out loud? Oh, and why would you want that? Are you still not satisfied with your life? Men are greedy animals. Noticing I didn't speak the truth, she hesitantly opened her mouth, but nothing came out in the end. Still too small for a person to fit through. Finally. We'll put down the phone and loosened her tense brow, along with a sigh of relief. What's up? Lucky for you. Things have worked out. Your dad'll pay tomorrow. For real? Why would I lie to you? She seemed to be in a rather good mood since all I got was just a look rather than a solid flying kick. She hasn't been kicking you for days. So stay put, nothing will happen to you. So you'll let me go? Who knows? Don't have any funny ideas and wait patiently until tomorrow. She had no promise and just shrugged with an ambiguous attitude. It went different than expected. According to my understanding of my father, he would have tried to buy more time and to let the police track down the kidnappers, yet instead he conceded rather easily. Did he really plan to just pay up? Knowing him, he wouldn't believe the kidnappers claimed so easily. He must have a plan. No idea. I didn't know what he had in mind, which was a sad realization of how distant our relationship was. Why you look so pissed? Did your brain burn out? I was a little surprised. As if. I responded vaguely. Well, I didn't think things would go this smoothly. I had no intention to tell my kidnapper that. Without noticing my concern, she mumbled before opening a can of soda next to the window. She leaned back against the wall and let out a long, tired sigh. She clearly didn't have it better than me. Outside of preventing me from escaping, she also had to worry about the police and negotiation process with my father. It might seem like it'd be over soon, but the key event was tomorrow. Did they really pay as promised? Could it just be a means to buy time? They always say parents will pay any amount of money for their children's safety. Don't make me laugh. We are not a normal family. Nothing could be done with this broken excuse of a relationship. Despite telling myself not to have any hope, I still wished for them to pay up. a self-contradiction even I couldn't really explain. My head started to ache again while pondering it. I tried to rest against the wall, but all sorts of thoughts stuck in my head. Boy at home, okay? Liar. Oh, what's with your mother? Hmm? Careful senses from the fuzzy memory and absent-mindedly. Why is there no contact at all from your mother? She is right here in Taiwan, but refuses to show up after her own son is kidnapped. That's strange. Maybe she's busy. All the unpleasant memories came to mind, making me try to change subject reflexively. You kidding me? She raised her eyebrow, clearly not pleased with this answer. In retrospect, it wasn't really a convincing answer, but I still didn't intend to say more than that. Why do you care about my family? Are you an arranged marriage agent? If you let me go, I can give you my number. Maybe we... Oh, God. It was only my voice throughout the conversation. She would normally have interrupted by now. Strange silence spread across the room. I sat to hide my thoughts. You really talk a lot when it is about things you don't want to answer. Is that some rich boy habit? Maybe. I didn't expect her to notice such details, so I acknowledged her sharp observation with a bitter smile. You figured me all out already? You should know our relationship was bad. All I care about is if you have money. Your relationship is none of my business. Why now then? Kind of casually, but couldn't help but wonder about the intention behind this question. Sheer curiosity? I felt it wasn't that simple. I just wanted to hear from you what's wrong with your mom. Even Mr. Ken said it was pointless to contact her. Mr. Ken? Never mind. Gonna talk or not? You're impatiently brushing your hair. I lowered my head and pondered how to respond. I didn't know where to start, really. It was embarrassing. I didn't feel the need to tell her. What, is she your stepmother or your father's mistress? Amy not pondering, she started to guess randomly and managed to get pretty close to the truth. Something like that, just the roles reversed. Huh? In the end, I decided to go with the easiest explanation. Mom had another man. It wasn't really something I could talk about, but it just triggered tons of unhappy memories. Since I was a kid, she often went out with someone, but I didn't know where to or what for. It sometimes would take her a whole week before she came home. Even the housekeeper couldn't give me a direct answer. Having an affair. There'd be no way to tell a 10-year-old that either. Oh. She supported her head with a smile on her face, which looked more like gloating than sympathy. You guys are strange, always doing these sorts of things. Fair, inheritance fight. Don't you have better thing to do? Not expecting me to answer, she started to talk to herself and laughed, as though hoping to balance things out by hearing of another's misfortune. A poor man your dad is, making all the money abroad just to raise a woman for another man. He knows. Knows? I said it casually and saw her staring at me dumbfounded. Yeah, he knew about my mother's affair. Again, this is just like my household. Only that happened like 3 times. This guy's acting like once is bad. Fuck off. Yeah, he knew about my mother's affair. Cool story, right? Are you an idiot? Have a sense of humor. Why didn't they divorce? Did he forgive her, or maybe your mother has the money? She ignored my joke and kept crying. After confirming the ransom payment, she'd become a lot more talkative. Who knows? I don't care, nor do I want to figure it out. They like it this way, and I can't do anything about it. I actually asked about that just once. I could never forget his reaction back then. I angrily told him about mother's affair, and the hand touching me tensed up immediately. The shock only stayed on his face momentarily before being replaced by another emotion. Some sense of relief. Softly rolled his head and told me Mommy didn't have an affair. I simply misunderstood. Misunderstood? No explanation. Just one single word. With the company increasing in size, he spent more time abroad. Never did he ask her about his whereabouts nor confront her, as though nothing happened. Why didn't he ask her? Why didn't they divorce? Why feigning appearance? I couldn't ask anything, seeing his soft smile, and the unanswered question became the gap between us. It got wider over time until it became an unfixable distance. Kids was just two. The marriage was just a ruse. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Dad still love her? Mine does. For some fucking reason, mine does. I don't know why. She's fucking evil, but I don't know. At least I didn't say the second part, and it didn't matter what the answer was. I deleted her phone number that day, and I moved out during high school, in minimal contact with my family. Since money came in every month, meeting up or not didn't matter. Maybe she knew that we already found out about it. No, maybe she wanted us to find out. In retrospect, too many things didn't make sense. There were better excuses for the affair to keep me from discovering it. She wanted Dad to know. Unbelievable as was, it did explain many things. To force him to propose divorce, testing his reactions. Regardless of the motive, there was no... My parents split shortly after I was... Yeah, I remember that name. There was no argument or confrontation as expected, just the status quo. Maybe she wanted to get alimony by forcing her dad to divorce. No one would openly have an affair to get alimony. No judge would be so stupid. Try to find an explanation with a darkened expression. Save it. You won't find an answer. They've been like this for years. At least tried to hide it from me when I was young. Now they don't even bother. The moment he was on the plane, she was already on her way to spend the night with another man. She just needed to play a good wife when he came home, as though nothing happened. It was like the adult version of playing house. The curtain raised and everyone played their arranged parts. You were the dad working abroad, you were the mom taking care of the house, you were the kid that needed to go to school. We all knew it was fake, but no one could spell it out. I kept thinking that if my dad's company wasn't that big, if my family wasn't that rich, maybe things could have been different. Things would be different without the money. I expected that to trigger her. She laughed coldly. Why is it so difficult just to openly discuss this? Do you really have to make it more complicated? Seeing her angry reaction, I somehow felt a little reassured. I confirmed I myself wasn't abnormal, but that my family's relationship was abnormal. Things wouldn't go away if you pretended you didn't see them. That was lying to yourself. Make things clear and break up if there is no more love. Don't keep perpetuating a lie if you don't want to be together. How simple is that? Who knows? They like it that way. Didn't want to argue with her. The world is too complicated. Too many people, too many things that will take a lifetime to understand. Why do they do that? Why does society function this way? Why can't one ever be satisfied? I don't know. If there is no answer, then you just accept it. Reality wouldn't change just because you don't agree with it, or because you know the cause. I don't know. Are you nuts? She waved her hand impatient, as though nothing I said was worth a dime. Why don't you figure it out if you find it so strange? Are you some soap opera protagonist? You don't get it, even if you're the one who doesn't get it. Abruptly interrupting me, she coldly responded, "You don't know how lucky you are. You don't know how many people envy you. You just keep saying you can't do it. How many people want to be like you? And yet here you are telling me, I wish I had less money. So quit the self-pity. You are lucky, rich boy. If you want to escape from even this type of problem, you may as well just die." Angry as usual, but this time it seemed different. I could tell she was treating what I said seriously and was dumbfounded by that realization. I've told anyone about my family. I realized it wouldn't matter even if I did. Is that it? How come? Poor thing. The pointless reactions were just exhausting. No one really cared, and then it became a random subject of chit-chat. Disasters on social media. Self-righteous comments were really just empty words on things that had nothing to do with you. All it did was notify others, "Hey, I know this. I have a heart." It's all meaningless. If you want to escape from this type of problem, you may as well just die. Upon hearing that, I realized I was escaping. Fearing that atmosphere, fearing my parents, I ran into my own world and never attempted to negotiate with them. What? Say something. Not saying anything, she stared at me coldly while brushing her messy hair. No, you're right. I sighed, and I felt better despite my situation remaining the same. She went silent, hoping to see if I was mocking her or being honest. Then she spat and turned her head away. Seemed more awkward than mad. Doesn't matter what you think. I won't be seeing you again after I get the money tomorrow. Good luck. She lit up a cigarette. The faint tobacco smell permeated the room, along with her cool night air. They did get the money tomorrow and everything just ended. That would be the best possible outcome. Shook my head and laughed at myself, even though I couldn't believe it. Life is fated to be a tragedy. We just live in hope of a miracle. I recalled that line. The air I breathed out turned to white smoke. There had been a foggy moon outside the window. Even if just once, I hoped a miracle would happen. Last name is Kwong. $3 in the morning. The girl was falling asleep in the chair. She'd woken up a few times in a fit of drowsiness. Even the energy drink didn't help much. Knowing she might really fall asleep, she decided to sit next to the door with a blanket. There was only one exit. He would have to go through here if he wanted to escape. Even triple checking the ropes couldn't remove the unease. The image of him escaping came to her mind every time she closed her eyes. It would all be over in a few hours. There was the simple determination that kept her going till now. She had imagined how she would pay off the debt multiple times, and how she could see the end of the line. She didn't know how to avoid arrest or what to do afterwards. She just had the belief that things would be different. Just a few more hours. The quiet sleep-talking echoed through the room. The girl secretly closed her eyes. Amidst the fuzziness, I had a dream. It seemed to be an afternoon after school. My mother hugged me so tight it made my arms uncomfortable. She kept crying, apologizing, wetting my face with her endless teardrops. Why was she crying? Blankly looked at my emotionally collapsed mother. Even the supposed family face appeared unfamiliar at that. Even though she was the one who betrayed father. Even though she was the one who abandoned us. Why did she look so sad? I couldn't ask the simple questions from my heart, yet a voice answered nonetheless. That's how the adult world works. That was a depressed, yet still young voice. In darkness, I realized that was none other than my own voice. I dreamed in shock, with the realization that my face was all wet. Couldn't recall the details to dream itself, just the bitterness weighing on my chest, rendering me breathless. There were a few spots of white light from outside on the ground. It was so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat and the wind from the window. Probably 4 or 5 a.m. I must have woken up early because I slept way too early the day before. I sat up to stretch my body, my joints making good cracking sounds. The last bit of my dream vanished with the morning light. I noticed the girl was leaning. I can't even be seen, can I? Oh, God. I noticed the girl was leaning against the door with the blanket within knife next to her body. She'd clearly fallen into a deep sleep. Worrying I might escape, she didn't even want to sleep in an actual bed. She had a slender body, clearly due to malnutrition, and the unkempt shoulder-length hair that was tangled in multiple places. Her long eyebrows wrinkled together, as she couldn't find a place even in a dream. Her long hair didn't seem very healthy, and the color was not consistent. One probably couldn't care less about their hair when eating for the night. Alone was an uncertainty. She could be a beauty if she cleaned herself up and maybe put on some makeup. Carefully observing her yeah. I almost forgot she was the kidnapper. Having a totally different family might lead to a totally different life for her. The world is not fair, I murmured what she said. I wondered what emotion did she not say that line with. Almost toward the society, self-pity, rage against the rich. I had to stop thinking about it and focus on figuring out what to do. Rest. No point to risk this much. They might just let me go after tonight. Ha. In her voice, I was glad she didn't try anything crazy. I finally managed to let her drop guard on me. I just need to be patient, wait for the opportunity. Good morning. What are you doing? She tiredly yawned and looked at me unpleasantly. Wait for breakfast. She clearly didn't buy it and walked to me with a knife. She checked if the rope was loose. You're free once Deb pays today. No funny business. Alright. Better keep your mouth shut and say nothing. Nothing. Got it? You'll never make friends if you're this bossy, you know. I responded jokingly, but she didn't seem to appreciate it. She stared at me briefly and decided to say nothing more. She then walked to the bathroom to clean up. Things might be, but if they were going to pay the ransom, they would let me go without me risking anything. The real problem would be, it was just to buy time. I wasn't sure how they would do if pushed it forward. Either I escaped on my own or what did the police rescue? Well, I will worry about that after tonight. So, what now? Visual face. I try to smile. God, you're dumb. You're fucking dumb. Girl. You look really tired. None of your business, she responded sourly. The thick, dark circles under her eyes said it all. Guarding me was around the clock. Plus, the heavy mental stress had taken quite a toll on her body. Get some rest if you're not feeling well. Oh, how nice of you. Save your breath if you just want me to drop my guard. Can't move around tied up. Besides, I'll be out of here if you get the money today. I'm not so dumb as to risk my own life. You better remember that. She grunted and relaxed herself a little bit next to the wall. Oh, no. Why do you owe that much money? My dad tried to start a company with someone, but that partner skipped town with all the money. That should be none of your business, though. You can just file bankruptcy. Thought he could make up for the loss if the business kept running, so he loaned a ton from a loan shark. No businessman, and so the business naturally failed. He himself skipped town too instead of making any money. But legally, that's his own debt. Legally? She cut me off with a grunt. She then asked with a raised eyebrow, "Do you think this is some entrance exam? What are the cops for if everyone follows the law? No one can help you?" She looked at me with amazement. You need to take responsibility for your own life. Isn't that your favorite line? I mean, enough. Should I fill you in on how I survived till now? She shut me down decisively and fell into deep thought next to the window with a cigarette. She couldn't seem to calm down on the big day. Pacing around the room, she kept checking her phone screen. Down from outside the door. Came to go with a shock reaction. I wasn't imagining it. Who could that be? There was question in my mind, but I was pressed against the wall before I could open my mouth. I covered my mouth in panic and raised the knife against my neck. The blade was so close I wouldn't dare move an inch. Don't move. I can't. Shut up. Shut up. I noticed that the trembling in her voice. She put more force into her hand. Sharpen would stab into the throat with a simple push. It appeared to be an accomplice, since it didn't appear that there was any other residence. One wouldn't expect a sudden visit. Police, maybe? But I could find me through the surveillance camera or cell phone signal. But could they find us this quickly after only a few days? I turned thoughts. The steps got closer, and it stopped right before the door. There's no hesitation. Straight to the destination. In other words, they knew someone was in here. They're still waiting for something. There was no sound outside the door. No one seemed to want to break this silence. My tense right hand trembled a bit, as if I could see the sweat dripping down the cheek. Big sis? The little girl's voice came through the door. She breathed out heavily and dropped her arms as though exhausted. Opened the door to greet the little girl who's carrying a bag and looked at her big sis innocently. What are you doing? Do you know how dangerous it is? If you didn't make a sound, I might have attacked you. Sorry. It's rare to see her getting mad at the little girl, who lowered her head apologetically. Through the door, I could see the view of the stairs. The red armrest and gray wall were a common sight of an old apartment. Whatever. As long as it's not a cop. Wait. Didn't I tell you not to come? What happened? Who asked you to come here? She raised her head suddenly and started to shake the little girl's shoulders with nervous expression. No one. Then why do you... I just want to be with Big Sis. Her response rendered the girl speechless. I became lost in thought while rubbing the little girl's head. The little girl's motive was simple. She just wanted to be with her big sis. But her sister had more to consider. For a police pursuit, what to do after getting the money? It was all difficult as it was to escape on her own, let alone taking care of the little girl. Why did you bring so many things? Trying to let go, she took the last bag. Miss Wang asked me to bring them over. She said they were left over. She knows? I don't know. You said you should take care of yourself and let her know if you need help. She seemed to lose her unusual cool, with her head lowering depressingly. Sis, Miss Wang was worried about you. Looking at the hesitating little girl, she bit her lip and finally spoke after a while. Don't worry. It'll all be over soon. She managed to smile while rubbing the little girl's hair, noticing the name that was brought up. Who was this Miss Wang they were talking about? Go for it. Who was Miss Wang? It was the first time they brought up someone else. I decided to ask when I had the chance. Giant bread was thrown at me. It hit me right in the face before I could react. Thank goodness it was just scallion bread. I would be in trouble if it was just a baguette. Be quiet and don't try to trick her. You too. Ling, don't tell him anything. Beating them quietly. Girl was still scolding her sister, not paying attention to what she just revealed. If she shared the same last name, then her name wrong. Name stuck out to me, but almost felt familiar in a way. Whatever. It might be for the best. She pressed the knife to the little girl. Oh, passed the knife to the little girl, okay. And started to leave the room with the cell phone impatiently. Keep an eye on him for me. I'm going to give a call and find out what's going on. They didn't pick up the phone. She impatiently mumbled and was about to step out of the room. Calling who? Better shut up, don't you understand? She coldly stared at me. It's none of your business, got it? Whatever. I'll be back soon, so don't you think about untying yourself. Hey, what if there's a fire? Then you'll be burned to death. I don't care as long as she escapes. Hiding from her privilege only got me a merciless look, with the little girl quietly nodding on the side. Remind you, no funny business. What can I do? Barbecue? She wanted to say something while staring at me, but eventually she just grunted and left. I break the knees to shattered. Suppose there was only me and the little girl. We will learn if the ransom really arrived tonight or not. You'll only keep a closer eye on me if the negotiation continued. If I want to run, that would be the best chance. The girl had less strength than her sister, nor was as on guard as... But again, like, you never knew what your next card. Nothing that mattered was that you only had one chance to bid. Thank you. Why are you thanking me? When I was sick for a few days, weren't you the one who asked her to buy some medicine? No. Big sis would have helped you anyways. She awkwardly avoided my gaze as though admitting that she was helping with something to be embarrassed about. I understood her conflicted mind. To her, my gratitude might not be praise, but criticism. So, what now? I don't know. Tried to start a conversation and still made no progress. Don't you care at all? Big sis told me to guard you and that she would be back soon. But calmly lowered her head, as though living in her own world without one bit of anxiety or guilt as criminal. Aren't you afraid? Afraid of what? Crouched on you. Like, I don't know, won't cut it. She pressed lips and said nothing. Some hesitation in her expression when she stared at me. How advanced technology has become, there's surveillance cameras everywhere. It's only a matter of time before they find out. How good your big sis is, she wouldn't be able to protect you by that point. She tried to open her mouth, paused a little, then swallowed the words. Give it some thought. It seemed like she did care, but she just somehow was surprised by her anxiety. Compared to her big sister's stubbornness, she might let me go if I pressured her more. Oh, what now? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Let's observe something. Fifth day of my kidnapped life. I started to get really tired of the unchanged room. Whether it was the afternoon sunlight, the reflection in the window, or the mixed air with cigarette and mold smell. I didn't have an enlightening experience. I just wanted to get out of this goddamn place. What's that? Curiosity. Colored paper. Got a piece of colored paper. The rainbow color really stood out in the depressingly gray room. After a few slick movements, she had nimbly made a small paper crane out of it. She moved on to the next piece of paper, and another one was completed in less than a minute. Paper crane? Yes, but they buy finished paper cranes from us. Oh, domestic OEM. I had some factories go out, otherwise unpaid for quantity upon completion. At the low pay, many people took such jobs for the convenience of inflexible hours. I wanted to help and make some money so we could pay up the debt sooner. We were still working while talking. It wasn't long before there was a small pile. Didn't appear to be her first time. She must have been doing this for a while. What's the payment? How much each? $1 for 1,000. More for 800 per 1,000 cranes. That's less than $1 each. Even if it only took a minute to make one, that would still be 15 hours. That's less than 100 per hour salary. Less than I expected. That's not much. Isn't this manual labor? I don't know. They say people don't buy paper crane anymore. Guess we all prefer new things. We were $1 million in debt. Even a century would not be enough, let alone the interest. There was no foreseeable hope. No wonder they rather took the risk and kidnapped me. Horse cannot gain weight if fed with extra fodder during the night. Man cannot become wealthy without earnings apart from his regular pays. Legal methods are really the only option to make money in this short time without capital. Got jobs better pay, like restaurants. Big Sis told me to stay away from those, she interrupted me resentfully, clearly not happy about it. Confused by her reaction, I tried to explain myself, then I noticed she was suppressing her emotion by biting her lips. Restaurants, jobs better pay. It only took me seconds before I realized she didn't say what she didn't say. I averted my gaze apologetically. Sorry, I didn't mean to. She quietly lowered her gaze, but her expression did lighten up a little. How much do you owe? No matter how many I make, it would still not be enough. I think what I had in mind, she quietly resumed working. This is the only way I can help Big Sis. She knew this little money was inconsequential. She knew what she was doing was illegal. Yet she could only do what she could. Even if it was as pointless as filling the ocean with rocks. You know the story of the paper crane? I remember the bedtime story. While looking at the paper crane in her hands. If you hold 1,000 paper cranes, you can make one wish. So, you do now. Big Sis told me that, but it was all a lie. If all takes 1,000 cranes, everyone wouldn't need to work so hard. Oh, yeah. I observed her side face with unease. She didn't appear to have much emotion, just as quiet as a pond in fall. Siblings had such drastically different personalities. The contrast to her big sister's anger, she just accepted it without a second word. She cared about her big sister's happiness in her current life more than fairness. I didn't know how to respond, so I changed the subject. If you could have a wish, what would it be? So that's why I said if. She seemed to take my random question seriously and started to contemplate seriously. I want to help the family pay the debt. I hope no one will come for us. I wish Big Sis can find a happier, better job. Why, getting a little greedy here. You asked me to. God won't listen if you ask for too many things, you know. She got interrupted by me and started to smile sadly. It found more heartbreaking than crying. Well, they won't come true anyways. I tried to comfort her, but couldn't find the words. I resented myself for even bringing this up in the first place. Looking at the window, it was dusk already and the sun was almost gone. I wasn't sure if she had any luck with the ransom. Dinner, I picked up the richer looking pork floss combo and it tasted better than I expected. These were only buy from the bakery that made fresh and organic bread. The price almost doubled, but the taste really wasn't different. The economic quality used to just be some fancy catchphrase. I never truly understood the meaning of that till now. I'm dying. It's unfairness in the extreme. If given the same amount of effort, they would never have the same life as me. Not because of my talent, but simply because I was born into a rich family. Some people choose work, study, and were already hundreds of thousands in debt upon graduation. Others never needed to worry about food or clothes and already had $1 million in business capital from their parents. Everything these people would compete fairly in the same society. Ridiculous, really. There's nothing we can do about it. We are powerless to the system. The world isn't fair. This game is one giant, we need communism thing, basically. That's why she was this helpless. There was no news of her big sis. Didn't know if she got the money. I started to worry. While I didn't really think they would pay, I also hoped this fiasco could end on a peaceful note. If they couldn't get the money, all these thoughts going in my mind. The little just ate the various breads quietly. The little. Oh God. Oh, don't call her that. Oh, that's bad. You like sweets? She moved on to egg tart after finishing the donut, neither of them fitting for a proper meal. She quietly put her hand away like a child that got caught doing naughty things. I like sweets too. Really? Oh, I thought rich people only ate steak. She looked at me with widened eyes, beaming curiously. The innocence of her expression would question her age. She looked like a middle schooler, like her timid personality and over-reliance on her sister seemed more like that of an elementary school kid. Yeah, like cookies, cakes, and ice cream. Chocolate? Chocolate is nice, but I prefer those with higher percent of cocoa. Oh, is it too sweet for me? Mm-hmm. Understanding it, she just nodded. She paused the work to grab a magazine from the book pile and flipped through the pages before putting it before me. Fashion magazine of desserts. There were photos of famous bakery and detailed analysis on each of them. I see her notes on the pages, including a white chocolate cake that got specially circled. Sheer white cake, decorated with berries and covered in cocoa powder. The elaborate garnish made it more like an artwork than papery, or a pastry. Have you tried this? Nope. I saw him try out over at the store. I only visited a few I knew about. One or two would give us some as gifts, but I rarely had a taste of those since I don't visit home frequently. Which white chocolate is not actually chocolate? Why is that? It's white because there's no cocoa powder. No, it's made of cocoa butter and milk solid. Oh. She tilted her head and blinked a few times. So what's the difference? Different ingredients. White chocolate is not as healthy. But it tastes good. Can't argue with that. This was never clear. Compared to my health concern, she cared more about the taste. I flipped through the magazine with one hand. There were more pages with notes. Almost have to do the same thing on travel guidebooks before a trip. Every stroke of the pen was filled with anticipation. You really want to try 'em, huh? She lowered her head and I heard her respond in a tiny voice. Big sis said she will bring me there. I was getting tired of her constant mentioning of big sis. She only had her big sis to rely on. She couldn't go to school and had to become independent way before others. It just wasn't fair to call her ignorant. I sighed. My heart always felt heavy when talking to her. Sometimes I'd rather she was angry at her sister. At least I wouldn't feel as guilty that way. I seemed with a manifestation of her dream. Desserts, cakes, and chocolate. From my perspective, those dreams would never come true. If she got the money, I don't think she'd be able to bring you on a foodie tour. Expression I saw the words I was about to say. I regret the fact I might have gone too far. I wanted to see the reality, but I didn't want to hurt her either. With that said, there could be a chance for that in the future. Really? Yep. Myself to give her confidence. Shaky light in the dark, lightning, or lightened up. There, this shaky light in the dark lightened up her young face, which was filled with unease and sadness. She knew what her sister was doing. That very realization was what kept her suffering. But she didn't have a choice. She could stop her sister and probably drop instead of kidnapping. There was obviously no way. Even an adult would not be able to give an answer, let alone a kid like this. She was not to be blamed here. Those responsible were her parents, her guardian, or even her big sis. She got back. Immediately, there were countless thoughts on my mind. I realized I had no time to hesitate. The footsteps were getting closer, my heart beat faster. I hunched and let go of my hands in the pocket. The palms were drenched in sweat. Maybe, just maybe, she get the ransom and this would all be over when she got here. No one will get hurt. They could restart life. A happy ending like the fairy tales. Or how unlikely it is, I want to lose that slight chance. With my last chance of escape as the wager. I seldom gamble on anything, and this would be the only time I truly hope to win. How would I escape? I have no way to. The girl entered the room with icy expression. She had none of her usual cool anymore. Her messy hair spread across her shoulders, and I could see nothing but rage and despair in her eyes. I knew the answer without asking. Big Sis? Step aside. The girl tried nervously to get closer, but only shoved aside by Big Sis, who walked a few steps. Ow. A kick landed on my stomach and made me curl up in pain. Before I could react, a myriad of punches landed on me. Big Sis! Shut up and step aside. The little girl tried to pull her away, but got scared motionless by her sister's yelling. All of you are the same. All of you. She showed me hysterically, as though trying to vent all her rage upon me. I managed to cover my head with my hands, trying to shield my most crucial parts. I tasted blood in my mouth. My body spasmed uncontrollably, and even coughing up gastric juice didn't alleviate the sense of nausea. Every single time. Every time. Every fucking time. Just want a normal life. Why do you have to force me? What do you want from me? The yelling and the crying. The initial burning pain seemed to gradually disappear. All the noise mixed into one everlasting sound in my ear, as if from somewhere far, far away. I naively thought it would work out. I gave up my chance like a coward, believing they would pay. I knew it from the very beginning. I gave up my chance of escape to embrace an unrealistic hope, and here I was. That's why you said it would be alright. Hearing her sister first time, the girl dropped her fist and faced the crying little girl. Her clenched fists were still trembling. Her standing posture appeared extremely lonely. Don't cry. I could hear her choking up, and there were tears in her eyes, but she stubbornly refused to let them drop. I won't cry either. She bit her lips and said every word forcefully. Not cry no matter what. I already knew it would be like this. I knew no one would believe me, no matter what I did. From their perspective, we should all just go to hell. We're just some social problem. We should all just die. Because we're poor and can't go to school. Well, they just lock up everyone who has less than 20k income. Everyone who doesn't have a middle school diploma should just get executed. What do they call us? Backup criminals? Social time bombs? Makes sense. Listen to me. No one will believe us and no one will help us. All we have is ourselves. Got it? It was the equation and got blood on her gloves and she just laughed, ignoring that. I know. This goddamn world isn't fair. Hearing the familiar words, I finally understood the emotion behind them. That wasn't no acceptance, but rage and struggling against reality. Does the game just end there? No. Okay. Okay. I'm alive. Yay. It was morning. Well, the consistence and pain in my body made it difficult to fall asleep. Arguments and sounds of things getting smashed in my half-asleep state, but I didn't notice anything off in the room. The blood in my mouth was nauseating, and all my muscles seemed to be twitching in pain. I stacked my feet and tried to rinse my mouth in the bathroom. Instead, I lost my balance and fell to the floor. I gave up and left myself lying on the floor, feeling my chest upheaving through deep breathing. Every heartbeat reminded me of the fact I was still alive. I'm not sure if she just woke up early or didn't sleep at all, but the girl was leaning against the window, a half-burning cigarette in her mouth. She'd give me a look when I fell down. The air was so heavy that no one bothered to say anything. Time flew. Even the cigarette spark started to fade. The cigarette was lit and then it was out. The repetition continued until the whole pack was gone. Anything to eat? My voice apparently shocked the girl, who immediately tensed up her body like an alarmed cat and jumped out of her chair. I was too scared to make any sound. She stared at me briefly before giving a long sigh and, while supporting her head, bags in her eyes, she didn't even bother to complain. Still thinking about food? Are you nuts? Nothing's more important than food. I knew what would happen next, and I didn't have to spare energy to think about anything else but the present. Really, But getting fed solved the problem. She threw the bread at me with a self-depreciating smile on her face. Let's rest a little bit. You ask. She didn't answer directly, but carefully asked back. Time she got more and more careful when talking to me, fearing to reveal more information. She saw toothbrushes and glasses in the bathroom, so I thought you might live here. What do you think? I think only homeless people would find this place attractive. Ha! My honest answer. She covered her mouth and giggled a bit in a mocking manner. So in the end, no money? What are you trying to say? I want to say he doesn't give a crap about me. Better do your research next time you try kidnapping. Long wait led to this result. I only laughed bitterly. It's not even funny. It's disgusting to become someone heartless due to money. Well, he's a famous CEO featured in a magazine and admired by many now. And that's why I say they're fucked up. She grunted next to the wall, looking at me with an expression of sympathy. I say you stay away from folks like that, or you might end up like them. Like them, huh? Oh, she spoke of me as one of us instead of one of them. Who knows? Maybe getting kidnapped was not such a bad thing. Jesus Christ. Wow, the little girl woke up as well. She sat up slowly on the bed. She looked at her sister first and me, then lowered her head helplessly. Sister yelling at her or shaking her fist with the insane Nancy face. These all must be unfamiliar to her. Thought everything was under control. She thought if she listened to Big Sis, there would be money. Now she realized things were out of control. Not only would there be no money coming, but they might have to face a penalty. The bubble of fantasy popped, leaving only a terrifying reality that made people uncomfortable. Have some food. Passed breakfast to her sister. The little girl raised her head, and looked at Big Sis, hoping to hear some words of encouragement or explanation. There was nothing. The girl just leaned against the wall without a word. There were too many things to think about. Her sister's feelings were the least of her concerns. The little girl didn't ask anything. She knew no one could answer her question. Or perhaps she already knew the answer. She started to make paper cranes after finishing sandwiches. Her mechanical movements held no meaning. There would never be enough of the pain to clear off the debt without the ransom. Yeah, too. But that was all she could do to support her sister. Nothing more. Said that making 1,000 paper cranes would pass your wish to the divine. Looking at all the cranes on the floor, I wondered if her wish had been heard. So, what now? Check. Older girl. You drink cola when you're sick, huh? What do you drink then? Don't you usually have a sports drink? Maybe hot ginger tea? Anyway, you should make a bowl. Oh, don't talk about a fucking. Oh, God, you fucking retarded. That's what we drink in our family. Every time someone got sick, my dad would buy a whole box of it. So I could fight the fever. Trevor for some memories for him. There was some inexplicable emotion as he gazed toward the window. Did it work? I did hear drinking cola when you had a heat stroke, so in that kind of it did make sense, I guess. Who knows? It's not poison anyway, and it's not as bad as some other sweet drinks. It doesn't matter if it works, it's just a habit. Holy fuck. Looks like some need to pray before any meal, or some smoke before, or only smoke a certain brand of cigarette. When a behavior becomes a habit, it starts to hang on another meaning. It leads to so many memories. On the other side of her face, deep in thought, I realized she had a sentimental side. Too. But I was with the girl when I tried to talk to your little sister. She warned me coldly. If you have something to say it to me. Don't talk to her without my permission. Then girl raised her head and stole a glance at me, but immediately went back to folding papers after hearing Big Sis's words. Hey, judging off against the wall. She was next to me when I raised my head to her voice. Oh, your dad cooperated. Don't want another beating. It's the first time she'd struck up conversation with me since yesterday. She seemed to have made up her mind, judging by her determined tone. Fine. I wouldn't expect me to play nice like this. And started to examine me top to bottom with a surprised expression. I can go home as soon as he pays, right? I want to get this over with ASAP. We share the same goal here. You seem to get it. I don't care how much he has to pay. I'll just see his compensation for ignoring me. How much is that worth? Lips formed into a rare smile. Buttons on the phone. It was so fast, as though not giving herself time to regret. Girl stopped her movements and held her breath for the upcoming developments. Where is the money? Girl told on the phone coldly. Breath anger in her voice. Stop trying to place with me. I still have your son. Do you really think I won't kill him? Pulling her messy hair and biting her lip so hard that blood was close to oozing out. There was also a sense of panic in her tone. Unlike the careful negotiation process in movies, this was more like an emotional venting session. Don't give me that crap. She got more and more agitated, and eventually got an angry fist landed on the desk, almost bumping everything into the floor. The girl looked over at her big sis. She had black eyes. Her two hands were stiffly blocking her chest as though to protect herself. As an accomplice, she really didn't have the courage to ask. She could only wait for her next instruction from her sister. Cowardice, weakness. Probably accused the little girl of all of these things. However, relying on her sister was her only way of living. Walked towards me suddenly and pressed the phone against my ear, turning the speaker. I'd be dead by now. Are you right, Haushin? There was a deep voice on the other side of the phone. I responded absentmindedly. Not sure what to say at that instant. Not due to familiarity or sentimental feelings, but more the sense of distance. I thought even the kidnappers felt closer to me. Don't worry, we are taking care of this. It'll be fine. Stuck in my throat, and I could feel my reluctance to speak slowly fading. Being kidnapped or the pain in my body were the illness that weakened me. I survived all of it. Yet his voice loud made me want to scream. Gathering the money, but the amount is too high, and we need more time. Stop lying. What is he, Hutchin? Are you okay? Stop this crap. Just transfer the money if you still want to see your son alive. Don't tell me the CEO can't get his head on a few million Taiwan dollars. He'll be paid. I am warning you. If you don't transfer the money by midnight tonight, there will be the last time you ever use it. On the phone at the desk, she saw the scared look on the little girl's face. She took a deep breath and managed to form a smile. Okay, it'll be over soon. Tried to comfort her sister, but didn't seem to have that much confidence either. There, she hears her on my left hand. I want that too. I would never thought of this event. She couldn't do anything but threaten me. When I was be over what I did. All these risks were for the money. Without the ransom, the hostage was a burden. Really couldn't get the ransom. Her best option was to escape rather than waiting for the police to come. How could I convince her to give up? You have reacting back then? Trying to start a fight with your dad or something? His voice pissed me off. He didn't care about me, only acted like a good dad now. And he still refused to pay. He at least have done a better job at faking that. Prioritizing money over your own son. You guys are fucked up. Able to hide her exhaustion. She supported her head while mumbling. Yeah. Perfect as I'd imagined. I had only discovered more problems the older I got. Recipes were hard to use. Worn cogs were making strange sounds. Once great machine looked like a stupid pile of scrap. The world is far from perfect. We all live in this imperfect world, struggling. Which turned into a shower. Turning the window into a water curtain. Temperature was lower now. Even with the coat, I could feel the cold sneaking in through the neckline. The window was covered in mist. The girl paced back and forth before the window. It was long past transfer time. Anybody transfer would be really well tomorrow. On the way, something we've done a lot the past few days. No matter how long it was, this wait was still hard to deal with. So be it. I heard her mumbling when she stopped pacing. Keep an eye on him. I'll be right back. Girl left this instruction before. No idea who she was going to call. There's no other option but to surrender or escape. When even made, I had a chance to talk to the girl. Started nimbly fold and twist paper. She the finished cranes piled into a small mountain next to her feet. I don't know. Her movements in slow, down while talking. The colored paper next to her. More than 1,000 once these are all finished. Let me help. But anyway, so I took out a colored paper to help. Difficult. I forgot how to make a paper crane, so I could only try to copy her steps. My hands weren't really nimble. She'd already made a ton of them by the time I finished one. Even though we followed the same steps, my crane looked super lousy. The head was all wrinkled together. Ugly. I didn't know why she'd stopped her movements. My crane had started shape, she gave an honest comment. There's no way to make one as good as yours on my first attempt. Also, my hands are tied. My first attempt was still better than yours. Big deal. Just treat this one and scribble or something. And the next one. Try to grab another paper and saw. Mark, really? Still crane will be an ugly one. Can't make a wish out of this? Never. She was right plainly. Her determined look left no space for negotiation. Pointless not done correctly. Broken paper crane can be fixed. What about broken people? Why does God make everyone different? When we follow documents, if there's only one kind of person? That's thought in my mind before. God damn. Communism. Communism. Think you can convince your sister? I didn't have much time, so I cut to the chase. Oh, mess this become right? Might get arrested if this keeps going. You wouldn't be able to escape by then. Talked to her with all the sincerity I could muster. I hoped all the community trust would be enough to make her believe in me. Just let me go and I'll hand you all my money. I can also miss the church. You just need to convince her. Convince me of what? You're that too, right? If you let me go, I tried to make a point to her directly, but she just pushed me aside and walked to her sister. David, I have something to tell her. There's no hesitation in look. She seemed to have made some important decision. Giving up? Who knows? There was a chance. Ransom, she said to skip her sister. Go obediently walked towards her sister, with an unease on her raised face. Go home now. Simple words but with major implication. The little girl didn't move and make any sound, despite having her mouth opened. Go to Miss Wang's place. I told her about it, but tried to plead for an explanation, but all she got was an impatient response. And never come back here. Got it? What about Big Sis? The little girl helplessly squeezed out the words. She couldn't even ask why. I could only wait like a convict before the judgment was passed. I'll figure something out. There's no need of you here. The words coldly, tried to avoid the girl's gaze. Not being able to get her desired answer, she headed over her head and pleaded with a tiny voice. There's no time. She shook her head inside, ignoring her sister. She started to pick up the paper cranes back. 1, 2, 3. Cranes with a simple movement. They all found. Have her come back here. She should ask my explaining for anything. Hold as much as you can. Don't cause her trouble. There's no energy behind the words. The two fell silent. I could only hear the raindrops echoing in the empty room. Thunder hands, the colorful clip cranes, and the echo of the rain. She picked up the last one and threw it easily into the bag. It came that there were no more cranes to pick up. So, with the moment's vibration, time stopped. Thousands of words seemed to be exchanged within the silence. When you spend enough time with someone, many things can be communicated without being said. Whether they were good things or things you wanted to hide away. Big sis, will you come back? The girl paused and didn't answer. Whether she couldn't or didn't want to, it had the same meaning. Her long hair covered her face, and I couldn't see her expression. Yet her upheaving chest revealed her struggle. This game feels like a lot of filler. You are right, Nim. I don't care what happens as long as I'm with Big Sis. As long as I'm with Big Sis. Can't I? Facing her sister pleading, the girl didn't say a word. We looked at each other. A tear slid down the little girl's face and left a mark on the floor. Crying for. I'm not dead or anything. She could lightly patted her head with a soft smile on her face. Take care of herself. I'll be back when this is over. Our speech. The girl just nodded. Tears and off you go now. It's late and it's raining. So you don't slip when you're walking, okay? The girl didn't move until her sister gave her a push, gesturing for her to leave quickly. Leaving, the little girl gave me a look. I could sense the despair and pleading in her eyes. What did she want me to do? Ask her to give up, or convince her father to pay? I couldn't do neither. All I could do was wait. In the room. Rain is listening. Sending your sister off. Go return to the room. Chose the raindrops on her coat and sat back in the wooden chair and thought. She'd be much calmer now to make up her mind. She tilted her head and looked at the rainy night outside the window. The lower eyelids gave out a sense of serenity. No smoking? What? You want one too? Nope. I thought they would be scolding or teasing, so her plain reaction was unsettling. Why are you making that face? I thought you'd be mad. What's the point of getting mad? She seemed to be more direct without her sister's presence. If beating you would make your dad pay, you would have been beaten to death by now. Not really convincing from someone who beat the crap out of me yesterday. Shut up. After contemplating, I figured out now would be the best time talking to a one-on-one without concern. Hey. Can you just be quiet? I have a proposal. Not interested. Just let me finish. Hearing her hesitating rejection, I sighed awkwardly. It was as though seeing her smirk somehow made me feel a little more relaxed. 037536162. Huh? My debit card password. The one in my bag. What's that for? Dark eyes stared at me in confusion. She tried to figure out my intention. There's about 700 to 800k in that account. Take all the money in it. You can drag me out. You can drag me there if you think it's a trick. The situation had changed since the first time I brought up the proposal. But she didn't have a better option. She knew the chance of getting the ransom was low. That's why she had let her sister leave first to keep her out of trouble. Or wherever you want once you get the money. You just untie me and leave me here. You want money, right? It isn't much, but that's still more than the millions of Taiwan dollars she would never get. Fearing that I might trigger her pride, I hesitated on what to say. Still better than going to jail? She'd guessed my thought from my hesitation. Finishing my sentence for me, she burst into laughter. I sensed a strange light in her eyes. What's that? Are you pitying me now? No, it's not that. Did it come to this? I didn't bother to sugarcoat my words. I decided to tell my true thoughts. All my understanding from days in. Why can't some people hire a private tutor? Well, you're right. Society is unfair. I repeated her favorite line. There's no emotion, just a factual statement. Rich people can hire tutors, while the countryside doesn't have enough schooling. Some people have parents who figure out their career path. They can become managers regardless of their capability or personality. Others will never climb the ladder. They keep saying there is no discrimination based on upbringing. Everyone has a chance through effort. So and so started a whole bunch of businesses on their own. But it has nothing to do with effort. Why would some people have to put in more effort to succeed? Where's the fairness in that? If I didn't have enough food and had to deal with debt, I might have done the same as you. I wasn't trying to justify the crime, but perhaps people didn't have the right to condemn them for higher ground. They kept saying things like, why is society so messed up? Or, you shouldn't commit crimes no matter what. But refused to help them. They attributed all their successes to effort. All their failures came from their environment or luck. It was nothing but arrogance. Communism, communism, communism. I am just lucky. She shrugged and concluded, I didn't kill or rob someone. Not because I didn't have a better sense of justice or charity, but because I'm lucky enough to not have to make that kind of choice. I never expected her to say all this. She looked at me speechless. The lamp cast a light on her face. She wanted to say something, but after a while just sighed. Point in saying all this? Even if you realize it, what would that change? Or do you think that saying that will make me feel better? I'm just telling you my perspective. You don't want this life, right? You want to live with your sister, right? Body shook at the mention of her sister. In the end, family was the one thing she couldn't let go of. I don't know your past. No one would end up becoming a kidnapper if they had the choice. You should hide once you get the money. I won't tell anyone about this. They wouldn't know even if I just bullshit everything. No way it would go that smoothly. Still better than waiting to be arrested here. I directly interrupted her. She didn't retort. And the cops will come looking for you. So you have to figure something out. She shrugged and I told her the truth. Kidnapping was a public prosecution crime. There would be trouble no matter what I said. Do you trust me? Gonna rain. Ready to die down. There was only silence in the room. I could tell the girl was struggling next to the window. I proposed this to her. She said she couldn't trust me. She said she had no external to let me go. Couldn't do anything if I broke the promise. The only condition for this deal to work was she could trust me. I knew she didn't feel there was much to tell these people who were nothing but rich hating whiners. However, I realized they weren't that different, except in their upbringing and education. They still understand each other through communication. Communism. I believe in you. Finally heard a response amidst the rain. But it's too late for that. Determination, cold voice. Different from the initial look of panic. She seemed to be as calm as the lake surface. Too late? My expression of disappointment. She smiled and turned her face back to the window. Said it before, didn't I? It was too late a long, long time ago. Ah. My 10-step body fell backward like a broken spring. Hyped up emotion cooled down instantly, as if drenched in cold water. Far more frustrating to see it. Just really convince someone but not be able to change anything than not convincing someone at all. I didn't know what her goal was, why she wasn't willing to concede, knowing there would be no chance to get the money. She couldn't wait any longer before the police came. She should just trust me and wait till everything had blown over. It made me exhausted. Just sleep. And noticing my tired expression, she covered herself in a blanket, turned off the light, and sat next to the door. In pitch black in the room. There was no starlight or road lamp. I couldn't even see the room clearly. I said to break the silence. Please don't just pack me up and dump me on top of a mountain. What a great idea. I'll keep that in mind. I'm gonna do it quick. I'd rather die instantly than suffer through it. Not a compliment. It isn't. Both of us fell silent. Rain's already heavy again, as though it was never going to end. Still awake? I didn't hear a response, but I could feel her gaze somehow. Let me know if you change your mind. Right. That nonchalant response after a moment of silence. I could vaguely see her through the darkness, sitting against the wall and facing me. Her eyes were looking somewhere past me, far, far away. In that instance, I wanted to know, what kind of features did those pupils reflect? I'm gonna sleep now. I'm gonna sleep now. I'm fucking tired and I'm gonna sleep now. This has been a long fucking stream, divided into 3 streams. It's 3 a.m., almost 3:30. Fuck my life. Anyways, I'm pretty sure Nim is the only, named viewer still watching. So, good night, Nim. I'm gonna take a nap. I'll be up in a few hours. Feel free to say hello if you're still up, because, again, I enjoy talking to you. And we don't do it nearly enough lately. If anyone else is in the chat still and it's just been silent, good night to you too. It's been a while since any of you have talked. Yeah. So if you're in the chat, let me know. But as far as I know, it's just Nim that actually talks. So, yeah, good night, Nim. And yeah, you said night. Awesome. I'm gonna go pass the fuck out. I'm gonna go pass the fuck out. Bye.